Good morning, guys. Last time I had told that I'll be reviewing the new MusclePower 29Light. This is a Yonex racket. Uh, Now, the reason I was comparing these two is because there are very few people who wanted a review whether they wanted to go with a lighter racket or they should go with a heavier racket. If they're going for a heavier racket, I also wanted to make sure that the price range that I am showcasing, which is almost around 1800 to 2200, 2300, is between these rackets, are between these ranges. So you are aware that I have three rackets. First racket is this Nanoray 18i, absolutely fantastic racket. I started my career playing with this racket. This is a very good racket. It's a mid-weight racket. It's not head heavy. I have one more racket which is from Leaning. That's a head heavy racket, and especially I love that racket. I play with that racket almost on daily basis. So the both of these rackets are almost 77 grams. The Leaning one and this Yonex racket, both are 77 grams. Nowadays I don't play with this racket very much because I always play with Leaning, but still I wanted to try one more racket which is in the 85 gram category, which is having a 3U build. Okay, so also the price range is almost around 2000 rupees. If there's a discount, you can get it for almost 1900 rupees, I guess. So that's the reason I'm choosing MusclePower for this review, and I'm playing this with this MusclePower since I believe almost around 15-20 days, 1 month. Okay, now the review. Build quality is absolutely fantastic. I love the build quality. It says here this is titanium mesh, sockless, plus weight balance system, plus full carbon graphite. If I'm able to zoom in, I'm not able to, but yes, it does say that. This is 29 light racket. Even though it's 29 light racket, this is 85 grams without the strings and with the grip. So if you add strings and if you add this grip, this racket will almost reach till 94, 93, 94 grams, which makes this a very heavy racket. Okay, and if you see Nanoray and the Leaning one, both of them are 77 grams. If you add the grip and if you add the strings, it comes around 82 grams. So there's a huge difference in the MusclePower, and there's a huge difference in the Leaning one and the Nanoray. Okay, about the gameplay, see, I have played always with lighter rackets because with the help of lighter rackets I'm able to place my shots very carefully. I'm able to move very freely. If after playing 1.5 hours, 2 hours, my hand doesn't pain. Next day, if I play in the evening, I still have the capability to play in the morning because this is a light racket. When you hold it with your hand, you don't feel anything. This is very light. Okay, when you hit shots, when you hit drop shots, you have to stretch. This is very light racket, so trust me, my hand never pains after playing 1.5 hours, 2 hours daily. On the other hand, this is 85 grams without the grip and without the strings. When it comes to it comes almost around 92 to 94 grams. This is a heavy racket, and if you see, this is having a long shaft as well. If you compare this is the tallest racket out of three. This is tallest racket out of three, and this is a heavy racket, and this is also a mid balance racket. Uh, Out of saying, yes, this is a good racket. Heavier players who are fat, who are strong, who are having good muscles, I think they can go for this racket. There is no problem. Once again, as it's a mid balance racket, you still have to when you are hitting short, when you're trying to hit smash, or every time head heavy rackets are better. And this racket, I'm saying, it is a good racket, but a heavier racket, right? Even after playing after 1 month of almost continuous every day, I still am going towards a lighter racket because this is a heavy racket. This is very heavy. If I play for 15, 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, my hand starts to pain, and I don't like the experience playing with this racket because this is a heavier racket, not for me. And I believe if you're starting your career, if you're starting to play with racket, don't go with a heavier racket, always go with a lighter racket. You will love this. Maybe if you migrate, if you are an experienced player, 1 year, 2 years, and you are looking for a heavier racket, and if you are looking around 2000 rupees of budget, go with MusclePower 29Light. That's the only advice I give. Still, there are more better rackets than this racket, and it's my suggestions that if you can avoid this racket, avoid it. If you choose it, this is not a bad racket at all. This is a good racket. Everyone has their preference. My preference is with a lighter racket, and if in case if I want to go with a heavier racket, there is Voltrex, which I love. That's a heavier racket, almost 85 grams, but that has a tri system, which is absolutely fantastic. That's on a complete different level. When you hit smash, you can feel the power. Over here, I still cannot feel the power. Okay, there will be few people who will be telling that, "Bhaiya, grip, the string that you're using is an older one." I know this is an older, but this is a new racket. This is not an old racket, just a 1 month racket. So even if I change the strings, I don't think I'll get much more power. So the final decision of me is, if you are heavier, if you're bulky, if you are 6 foot, maybe bulkier player, you're starting to play with you're starting to play, and if you feel 77-gram rackets are very very light for you, don't enjoy the experience, and start with MusclePower 29Light. Eventually, after playing 1 year, 2 years, upgrade this racket. Else everything is up to you, sir. And this is my review. Thank you for seeing this. Take care.